What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a great day today. Today, it's officially winter up here in Massachusetts. Yesterday it snowed. It's all melted now already, but it's officially winter, nice and cold, and the Cressida is off the road for some winter projects. So I'm going to be going over today just what I've got planned, and I'll show you around, see what needs fixing. Nothing too serious, mostly just some crusty, rusty parts I want to get back to a little bit better condition, but I'm going to go over a couple things. Got a couple bigger projects like fabbing up a rear bash bar with a jacking point. So let me take you around the car. So if you know these old Cressidas, they had mud flaps on the back of the car and on the front fenders. Unfortunately for me, this one sat for about 10 years over grass, so moisture was always coming up from the bottom, and this was probably not cleaned very often, so there is a good amount of rust and rot here on both sides and on both sides of the fenders. Unfortunately for me, on this side, it goes all the way through into the trunk. So my last couple drift events, it's been raining, and when I get home, there's like gallons, I'm not even kidding, like a gallon of water sitting in the spare tire well. So my biggest project, probably besides the bash bar for the winter, is cutting that out and welding in a new piece. There's a little bit better light. Cutting that out, welding in a new piece, and as you can see, this piece here, I could pull it off right now, may as well, just for video's sake. There you go. So this, oh yeah, I can just rip it all apart right now. Oh, it's just being held together by the seam sealer. So I've got to cut this out and weld in a piece there, and then I may do it on this other side too, which, as you can see, it's going all the way up, and there's a little bit water going in on that side too. So I might just grind down this side and throw some Bondo in there, but the other side is a little bit more substantial, and I'm gonna have to chop that out and weld in a piece and then Bondo it on the outside. So luckily, I believe I will be purchasing a body kit over the winter, and those the back bumper goes all the way up to here. So even if I don't paint it, it won't be exposed. So it'll look all right. But I don't have any bodywork experience. So this, I'm just kind of jumping in head first. As you may have seen, last winter I picked up a welder with no knowledge, got right into it, played around with it, and I've been having fun with it. Welded the diff, welded the coilovers together, so I'm now, I feel confident with my welding, but now it's time to jump in and learn something new. Next thing up on the list is putting the gas cap back on. Everybody's been giving me a hard time about my gas cap. Now, when I received the car, the gas cap was hanging, so I just took it off. The little bar that sits on here, that attaches there, that it pivots on, just was rusted through essentially, and it was only stuck on one side, so I pretty much just peeled it off, and I'm gonna have to weld that back together and hope that it lines up. So that'll take some fine tuning. So that's not the end of the world. Not a huge job, but something I just didn't have time to do in the season, since I was doing more drivability things. I had to do the wheel bearings since the front was pretty sloppy, and now that's pretty good. So now that it is the off season, I actually have some time to do some exterior stuff, some visuals, and hopefully get it looking a little better for next season. So the last event at Lock City, I borrowed Patrick's Tom's wheel, 360 millimeter. I have the hub and everything, but you know, he has to have that on his car, so he took it back. But the next interior mod and drivability mod will be replacing this, I believe it's 385 or 390 millimeter, which is just, I mean, it's like driving a bus, especially with, you know, no angle and everything. This big wheel, it just takes a lot of movement to get me turning. So I want to get a bit of a smaller wheel so it's a little easier to get the turning in. In addition to the steering, I'm also going to be sending out my knuckles and my lower control arms to Timmy, another X8 fella. He's in Albany, New York, I believe. He does a lot of good work. He's got a nice Cressida that is fine-tuned, and he's always improving it. So I trust him to fab those up. I believe he shortens the knuckles, and he's gonna extend the lower control arms. I don't know the exact figures, but once I have that done, I can report more back to you. So most people, you know, when you're just starting out, you want to start off with stock angle and everything, but he came and recommended to me, you know, with the Cressida, just doesn't have like any angle from the factory. So it's definitely a important mod to have on this X8, and looking forward to having a little bit more angle next season. Last but not least, probably this and the Rust will be bigger projects, but I want to create a rear bash bar for the Cressida that also has a point to jack it up from, so I don't have to put the car up on boards or little ramps in order to jack it up in the back to swap tires and what have you. My current crash bar, the stock OEM crash bar, oh boy, we're going down. Stock OEM crash bar, as you'll be able to see here with this tow hook, is I can move this tow hook with my fingers, with my arms. You can see it coming down there. This bar is Swiss cheese. Look at this. Slide my flag down here. This is not what it's supposed to look like. This is supposed to be a solid bar all the way through. This is completely compromised, has no structural integrity left. So I'm gonna pull this off, and I'm gonna fab something up that goes across. I don't know if it'll technically be a bash bar, but it's gonna be a bar that just goes all the way across. I can mount the rear bumper too on the kit, and I'll have a tow point since that one is 100% compromised. Like if I went off track and they actually tried to tow me, it would just rip right off. You know, if I tried hard enough right now, I could just take it and pull it off. So that's not really good, obviously, and I wouldn't want to have to compromise my car for the rest of the day if I were to go off track and they just have to leave it there. So those are really the biggest mods that I'm going to be doing. If mods, you know, maintenance mods, whatever you want to call it, in this off season. So I've got a couple of good projects that I'll be filming and having come your way. So stay updated and stay in tune, because I'm hopefully going to be pumping them out, hopefully a week video every week. Also, in case you haven't noticed, I've been doing some wheel flipping. So here's some shiny reps. I've got some Volk racing wheels down in there that I'm flipping. So it won't just be Cressida content this winter, but hopefully some other wheel videos as well. So hope you enjoy this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you want, subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, and if you want to see anything else in future videos, just drop a comment or DM me on Instagram at Rob_Pantridge. Alright, have a great night, and I'll catch you in the next one.